Hello everyone, my name is Arden English, and after all these years, I'm finally going to see the doctor. No reason, just curious. You know, my back hurts, twisted ankle, this weird black spot on my chest. You know, the basics.
You have 48 hours to live.
Huh.
Did you hear there's not going to be another F-Zero game?
What?! My back still hurts and I have 12 hours left to live. But I have more important things to deal with. How can Nintendo just let F-Zero go for 16 years without a new game? It's not like they forgot about it, they tease the series all the time. If I had a nickel for every time F-Zero's appeared in a modern Nintendo game, I'd have 7 nickels. The Smash Bros. Games, Mario Kart, Nintendo Land, even Super Mario Maker got Captain Falcon Amiibo support. What? You heard me right. Captain Falcon Amiibo support. No. F-Zero was Nintendo's original hit racing game before Mario Kart came along and stole the spotlight. I was actually introduced to F-Zero by playing the F-Zero DLC tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. These tracks are a nice love letter to the series. However, F-Zero fans such as myself both love and hate these tracks to an extent. If I have a say in it, I'll only play these tracks on 200cc, mushrooms only, with the Captain Falcon Amiibo costume and the Blue Falcon to make it feel as similar to F-Zero as possible. But when you really break them down, they just aren't the same at all. F-Zero and Mario Kart are in two completely different genres, and F-Zero just doesn't fit too well in the Mario Kart world. That being said, these tracks do have their charm. Whether it's the tons of boost panels in Mute City, the strange gravity mechanics, the character advertisements, or the Easter eggs rolled throughout the courses, these tracks are some of my favorites in the game. Ooh, and they brought back the announcer from F-Zero X for the final section of Big Blue. That is a nice touch. Mario Kart may have introduced me to the series, but that doesn't stop me from being a hardcore F-Zero fanboy. I have all the console titles, which in fact makes up less than half of the official lineup. Huh. First off, there was F-Zero for the Super Nintendo. This was a launch title for the system and showcased those darn Mode 7 graphics everyone wanted. This is a fast, albeit difficult racing game for the Super Nintendo. It's like Super Mario Kart, except faster, without items, no coins, no multiplayer. It's not like Super Mario Kart. F-Zero has some great track designs. As a matter of fact, you can't really tell what they are. See this? What the fuck is this? Port Town? What's that even mean? The tracks may not look great, but most of them are amazing to play. Most. Mute City 3, Red Canyon 2, Silence, these are all amazing, but don't get me started on the jump in Whiteland 2. Next there's F-Zero X for the N64. Previously named F-Zero 64 in development, the developers decided to draw letters out of a hat for the final title and came up with this. Out of all 20-something letters of the alphabet, they went with the 6th most generic. I have a list. Strangely enough, this naming scheme stuck for the following console titles. Oh. This is the first F-Zero in 3D and it looks like shit. But the tracks in this game actually have character compared to the Mat 2 Deluxe of the original. And we have all the mainstays from the first game. Mute City, Big Blue, Whiteland, f***ing Port Town, I still don't know what that means. And Big Hand. Nothing screams F-Zero X like Big Hand. Why do I feel like this track gave Nintendo the inspiration for Yoshi's Circuit? Oh, and they remade Mario Kart 64's Rainbow Road. That's so cool! It doesn't have the iconic music, however. That was an exclusive to the N64 DD expansion pack for this game. But considering that the original version of this track was 6 honkin' minutes long, makes it a surprisingly well-length F-Zero track. This track alone puts a lot into perspective, you know. In 1998, Mario Kart had cameos in F-Zero. In 2014, F-Zero was in Mario Kart.
I'm not complaining, but I can if I want to.
Scott the Was. 2020. Talking about F-Zero DLC and Mario Kart 8. X Cup is fun too. Honestly, the soundtrack is easily the highlight of this game. It's all rock-based and it just has this great energy to it all. But this game did wonders for the F-Zero franchise, but it's selling less than half as well as the original. Well, lastly there's the third and final console title, F-Zero GX for the Nintendo GameCube. This is a good game. It took everything F-Zero X did good and made it great. The controls are smooth, the graphics are pristine, and the difficulty is jacked up. This is my favorite out of all the games. And though of course it isn't the highest quality visually with a low resolution, I'd argue the graphics still hold up for today's standards. And the soundtrack just bleeds early 2000s and is my favorite soundtrack of the series. And then, there's the story mode. Oh god, the story mode. This game has the best worst story mode to ever exist. The voice acting. Shit. The animations are also shit. I love this game. Everything is just so cheesy and it's just got so much character, like it's so bad, it's good, it's weird. Also, the story mode is unreasonably hard, even on the easy mode, so that's kinda... No, the tracks on the other hand, these are all amazing. Everybody's here. We got Mute City, Big Blue, Sand Ocean, Firefield, and what the hell Aerodive. Out of all the courses, why did they bring back this one in Smash Bros? What the hell is an arrow dive? This subtitle is just giving me more questions. Like, why is Rob? That was the end of the sentence. The new tracks here are also great. Green Plant and Lightning look amazing, and I love the music to Casino Palace. Aeropolis, Outer Space, and Cosmo Terminal all have this neat, creepy ambiance to them all, and Phantom Road gives me an aneurysm. The AX Cup is easily my favorite, but while I have your attention, why are there 2 port towns in the same cup? And it's a good cup too! Big Blue, Green Plant, Mute City, and 2 port towns. This is Nintendo's worst mistake after putting 7 Bowser's Castles in Mario Kart Super Circuit. Anyway, we now move on to the Game Boy Advance games, where there are 3. What? These are just like the first one, being in 2D, but they look and play a bit better. Nobody talks about these games. Like, seriously, if I had an info for every, I've used this joke already, damn it. So I guess the only thing I have left to do is play these games. Only problem is, I don't have a Game Boy Advance. However, I have played these games. On the last day of school before spring break and quarantine, I played these games on a sketchy website my friend and I found when we were bored. I played them and loved them. And now, before you get a hotsy-totsy about me playing these games through, just no, not to worry. It's fine. They were school computers. Well, I guess there's nothing else to do than to buy these games. The first 2 should be pretty easy, but the third was a Japan exclusive, so let's go check that one out.
Arden! What do you call a mix between human feces and our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
Holy shit! Yeah, no, I can't see myself owning that game anytime soon. Anyway, all 3 of these games are relatively similar, at least for what I've played in them. Maximum Velocity is definitely the worst though. It isn't bad by any means, it's just set in a different era than, well, every other F-Zero game ever. GP Legend has a great story mode, track selection, and characters, and Climax just seems to be more of that. Climax is easily the pinnacle of the GBA F-Zeros, with elements clearly taken from every other game in the series. It plays like the original F-Zero, with the soundtrack being heavily inspired by X and the backgrounds coming from GX. It's a really great game. However, there is one title in the F-Zero franchise that seemingly no one ever remembers. The F-Zero minigame in Nintendo Land. No, I'm talking about F-Zero AX. Released in 2003 alongside GX, F-Zero AX is an arcade game made by the Sega developer Amusement Vision. In no instance have I ever related F-Zero to Sega. The only thing Sonic the Hedgehog and F-Zero have in common is fast. Turns out they also made GX, but I didn't care about that a couple minutes ago, move on. It's only got 6 tracks, so that's not too terribly exciting. Hold on, the chairs f***ing move! Apparently only 114 of these machines exist, so I have to keep my eye on the Vancouver Craigslist. That being said, you can hack into F-Zero GX where AX also allegedly exists. But still, no one really remembers this game, and hardly anyone has ever played it, so it'll always be that elusive title in the franchise. In 2003, there was also an F-Zero anime called F-Zero GP Legend. Yeah, you heard that one right. You got F-Zero GP Legend and F-Zero GP Legend. They're different, I swear. But I've gotta be honest, it's really good for an anime based on a racing franchise. It's got a lot of fan service put into it. Like they have F-Zero X's Mute City, Aeropolis Multiplex from GX, Outer Space from AX, and I instantly loved it when they had Lightning Thunder Road from AX, my favorite track ever. I do recommend giving the Japanese version a watch with subtitles, as it has the most episodes. Yeah, it didn't do too well over here, and you can definitely tell why just by watching the intros. This
A thrilling new sport grips the galaxy, fueled by fans across the universe.
is boring. This I want to watch. And surprisingly, Captain Falcon isn't even the main character. It's actually a new character called Ryu Suzaku, or Rick Wheeler over here in North America. And of course the soundtrack is incredible, though it is rather repetitive. Well, now that the history is out of the way, let's talk about my hopes and dreams and how they'll be inevitably crushed. Do I want another F-Zero? No shit! An F-Zero for the Switch would be so perfect! Being the first official F-Zero in HD, this game wouldn't just appeal to long-lasting fans of this series, but attract a newer audience as well. Sure, the internet may say the best way to lure kids is with candy and money, but deep down we all know they just want another F-Zero. I'd also like to see a new story mode, and I've heard the idea of an open world format being thrown around, and I could not be more on board. The idea of exploring around Mute City, Port Town, or hell, Casino Palace would be incredible. I've always wondered what Lightning Thunder Road looks like on the outside, and what this building is in Green Plant Mobius Ring. With a new F-Zero comes a new name, and I'd say they should stick with the previous naming scheme of the series and throw in another random letter followed by X. Now when the Switch was still in the leaks and rumors stage of existence, it went under the codename of the Nintendo NX, so tell me that F-Zero NX would not be the perfect name for a Switch release. Then again, I've also had this theory that GX is called GX can stand for GameCube X, and X can stand for Arcade X, in which case Switch release become SX.
Shut up!
Okay. Not to mention that November 21st marks the 30th anniversary of the release of the original F-Zero in Japan, So please, God Nintendo, make F-Zero your holiday release this year. Yeah, I wrote the script back in March. It's not gonna happen, is it? Well, there's always the American release date. Now, I've heard many times that Criterion, the creators of Burnout, were supposed to be making a new F-Zero for the Wii U, but didn't because they were busy working on this. Now, I've heard people also say that this was either real or fake, and honestly, I don't care, because Nintendo's reasoning behind not making another F-Zero is just utter nonsense. Miyamoto has said that the main reason they haven't brought back F-Zero is because of a sort of lack of ambition. They don't know how to further the series and feel like it just wouldn't be right to release a new game with no standout features or improvements. This is coming from the company that made these games. Miyamoto has also asked, why F-Zero? What do you lack that we have not done? Basically, what new things do you guys want? Well, HD 60 FPS would be nice. Mission mode, maybe alongside a new story mode. Bring back Death Race. Include all the characters counting maximum velocity in GP Legend. A track editor. Nintendo Labo, build your own Blue Falcon. Motion controls. No! Now, Nintendo may say that basically releasing GX again would be worthless. However, I've seen more than a few comments from people saying that it would be alright if Nintendo would just port GX over to the Switch. Honestly, the updated visuals would be a pretty big improvement in the first place, and to add 30-player online doesn't sound too difficult either. That would be hell! Now, don't get me wrong. The original GX still looks amazing, but there is one problem. Ew, fade-in! Like I said before, these improvements would give tons of people the ability to just pick up and try one of these games, but for some reason Nintendo just won't do it. And I don't really get why. Is it because they'd rather focus on their main racing series being Mario Kart? Now, on most Tuesdays, I'd say yes, but this isn't a normal Tuesday. People are letting me talk about F-Zero for way longer than usual. We haven't really gotten a new Mario Kart in 6 years either. This doesn't count. Mario Kart Tour was just Mario Kart 7 again, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was... well, what do you think? If someone were to ask me whether I wanted a new Mario Kart or a new F-Zero, I wouldn't know what to say. Well, but if Nintendo won't make a new F-Zero or even a GX port, then at the very least bring GX to the eShop. People want to play these games, but there aren't enough copies out there for everyone, and Nintendo just doesn't seem to realize that. Like, guys! It's been over 15 years, Nintendo, come on! So I've been thinking of becoming a sellout recently. I never thought I'd see the day where an AR Mario Kart was announced before a new F-Zero. Granted, I was never alive to see the day where any F-Zero was announced, so... but what can you do? I mean, I guess you can make a 13-minute video about the whole damn series to an audience that really couldn't give a shit about what you're saying. I love F-Zero. I've gone on about the F-Zero franchise for 13-something minutes now, but still, one question remains. What title can be considered the best F-Zero? It's the mini-game in Nintendo Land!